Disney's mechanical fabrication group respectively took over to build the sets and three-dimensional figurines. The finished sets were erected in Disney Studios for approval by Walt Disney himself before they were shipped to New York and assembled in a show structure at the World's Fair site. Though the World's Fair building was less than pleasing to the eye, the aesthetic 120-foot-tall Tower of the Four Winds, designed by Rolly Crump, stood in front to compensate and became a World's Fair landmark. The tower became a marquee, and the whole ride echoed that design. So it worked, Crump explained.
Basically, we had started working on the World's Fair projects, and we had the Ford Pavilion, which I was working on some of the designs there. We had Mr. Lincoln, and we also had General Electric. And we had a lot of meetings. Walt was always in charge, and Walt was always the one that was coming up with, what we were going to do. And one day, we were sitting in a meeting, and we'd really moved along. We had completely designed the Ford Pavilion. And Walt came in, and there was only, whenever we met with Walt, there was only like 4 or 5 of us. It wasn't a huge group. And he said, there's another piece of real estate left up in the grounds at the World's Fair. And he says, I think we'd like to take that over, and I've got an idea for a little boat ride. And we all kind of looked at each other like we just did Mr. Lincoln, an animatronic figure, and we're doing General Electric and Ford, and Walt wants to do a little boat ride. And we were kind of thinking, what the hell's he talking about?
30 new Disney characters joined the company of the other Disney figurines and were placed in their native lands. Pinocchio in Italy, Aladdin, Jasmine, and Abu in the Middle East, Cinderella in France, Simba, Pumbaa, and Timon in Africa, and England hosting Alice, the White Rabbit, Peter Pan, and Tinkerbell.